I'm not surprised based on what we saw in 2016 that the Democratic Party once again rigged its entire system in order to destroy the candidacy of Senator Bernie Sanders, who is someone that I am excited about. I've been following Bernie for years, even before he was someone that many of us learned about in 2016. I used to listen to him every week on the Thom Hartmann program, actually. He would call in every Thursday. And so I was excited about the prospects of a Sanders about him being the nominee, even though I didn't think it was likely. A lot of people in my social group, in my world, as we'll just keep saying the left because I don't know what else to say in media, really did believe that Sanders had a chance. And because he was the front runner, according to a lot of polls.
Yeah.
But I never underestimated the power of the elite in the Democratic Party. And so it was very interesting to see how they really, with the leadership of Obama, it was Obama behind the scenes making calls to Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar and telling them that you need to drop out and endorse Biden. And I was surprised at how adept they were, how perfectly they planned it so that they could ride the wave of the South Carolina primary and then after Super Tuesday just declare Joe Biden the candidate. And I was also surprised. I knew that they weren't going to let Sanders be the nominee, but I wasn't sure which of the establishment candidates the party elite were going to decide should be the one. And I was shocked, honestly, that it was Joe Biden. He was probably one that I expected to be the consensus candidate the least, because it was very apparent to me that he can't even finish complete sentences.
That's right.
Early on. And then since he's emerged as the consensus candidate, as the nominee, it's just gotten even worse.
That's
he can't
right.
go a day without swearing at voters or even
Coughing in his hand.
appearing exactly that he doesn't even know where he is. Last week, I'm sure you saw the video when he gave this kind of acceptance address after a major voting day. And at the end, he just stared and looked into the camera without any gesture, or he looked completely lost on his face. And then his wife had to come in and like shuffle him off stage because he was just going to stand there. He'd completely forgotten where he was. And so it's clear to me at this point that Biden is the nominee. I'm very disappointed in how Sanders handled the very important period of time, I think, after Iowa, when that very suspicious app shadow was employed by the Democratic Party to count the vote. It was obvious by that point that even though Sanders had won the primary, that they were doing everything they could to obscure the fact that they won. And even you have to have serious questions about the vote when something that wrong is going with the app. So at that point, I think Sanders should have been rallying his supporters and speaking very clearly about this is a plan from the party elite to go Trump. Remember what Trump did to the Republican Party? He didn't win as someone who's going to shake up the Republican Party by playing by their rules. He called them out repeatedly. And Sanders is taking this mentality, we'll just keep our head up and win the next race. No, you won't.
Exactly.
And so
like Joe Biden is my friend, you know?
Right. And then when they rolled out the Russiagate attack against Sanders, and called him a Russian asset, or were suggesting to him that Russian bots were behind his campaign, he rolled over and accepted it. In fact, he introduced the Russiagate narrative against himself during a debate. He said, if some of my supporters are being mean online, it might be because of Russian bots. That was a failing strategy. He played into the hand of the party elite, I would say. And so I don't have a lot of hope for him. I personally prefer Tulsi Gabbard. I think she does the best job of speaking about the issue that I think is the most important, which is ending these wars and tying that to the social programs that Sanders talks about, like healthcare and education. We can't get to that without addressing the empire first.